going to do this 6 times on each side. Hello. Hello everybody. I don't know, I usually don't do this where I record anything before I actually start the workout, but all my stuff is arranged pretty well, and I thought it would be cool to kind of be standing in the middle of it and get a scene. Just a bunch of stuff I've collected over the past couple of months, with 3 new additions as of yesterday. So those 3 things over there looking like baseball bats are steel clubs, and they're the smallest one being 25 pounds, then 35 pounds, and 45 pounds. I played around with it a little bit yesterday. Didn't record a video yesterday because I had jiu-jitsu, and didn't really do workout outside of jiu-jitsu except for playing around with the steel clubs a little just to get a feel of it. They're actually quite heavy and quite a bit different than the steel maces that I have, and so I guess it's another device for me to learn the mechanics of and then do exercises that involve them. I've been watching a lot of this guy named Mark Wildman, who uses steel clubs a lot, and he has just a bunch of exercises and tutorials on how to do things. And what I found was that a lot of my steel mace mechanics translate pretty well into the steel club. It's a lot of similar concepts, but because of the size of the device and how the weight is distributed compared to the mace, it allows for some exercises that I can't do with the steel mace. And yeah, I'm going to be exploring some of that in today's workout, along with probably supersetting it with other stuff that I have. So some steel mace, some kettlebell, and some steel clubs. Maybe some landmine too, since I haven't done landmine squats in a while. In any case, that's, I guess, an intro. Let's see what ends up happening. So for the first set of movements, I'm going to do a tricep, starting with landmine squats. So just going to do 10 reps, staying on my toes and squatting down all the way. Full knee bend, getting the toes engaged, and the full knee bend also allows for a better quad recruitment. Supersetting that with a club bell exercise. So this is a 35-pound bell. 35 doesn't sound like much, but like with the steel mace, a little bit of weight goes a long way. So I'm going to do a clean and a pullover. So it's called a single hand pullover, but the other hand's there to adjust or to assist. Clean pullover. for 6 on each side. So one of the things with the steel club compared to the mace is, like, the mace would hit the floor if I tried to clean it, if you guys can notice. So yeah, that's one of the things you can do with a club, is incorporate a cleaning kind of motion into like this rotational style of training. In any case, ending off with 15 single arm 360s with the steel mace on each side. During my lunch hours, I took about 40 minutes to do more of an endurance style workout where I swung the 15-pound steel mace for about 20 minutes. In the steel mace training world, it's recommended that you do a lot of endurance-based stuff. So, you know, it's not there, like, there's nothing much to record with me doing 20-pound or 20 minutes of steel mace swings. So I don't record that, but that's what I did during lunch hours. But yeah, just thought I'd mention that. Doing this tricep for now, and then on to the next thing. So for the next set of movements, it's kind of grueling actually. Using the 35-pound mace or a 35-pound club bell or steel club, going to do 360s with it. In the steel club world, it's called a shield cast, so that's what I'm going to call it. So I'm going to do 12 shield casts on each side. It looks like this. So because of the shortness of the steel club compared to the steel mace, the mechanics of it are different, but not different enough to where there wasn't a steep learning curve. I just had to fiddle around with it a little bit to get the movement pattern down. It may not be perfect, but here's where I'm at right now. And this is heavier than the heaviest mace I have, and so I'm able to get that sort of 360 motion, which is very very similar to the steel mace 360s, but with a heavier weight. Oh, I'm gonna watch this back and see how my form looks. But if you guys have been watching me since episode 100, you guys have probably noticed how bad my steel mace form was when I started, and how much it's improved since then. And if my steel club stuff looks bad now, I'm sure that I'll figure it out in the next 50 episodes or so, maybe lesser, since I have the steel mace kind of down, or mostly down. In any case, with the 45-pound steel club, I'm going to do low to high swings. This mimics sort of drive with a golf club, or like certain strikes in baseball or cricket. So starting off with the mace on one side, or with I'm so used to saying the mace. Oh, here's another thing. If I was using the steel mace, I wouldn't be able to perform this movement because the handle is much heavier or much higher, and it would hit my feet if I swung it the way I'm going to swing it now. So going to hold it this way with one with the steel club on one side. I'm tired and I can't really speak, and I'm going to lift it up and build some momentum, and then when I'm kind of ready, swing. After 12, switching sides. It's quite the taxing movement and trains the core and muscles in the hips and gets you used to that motion of rotating at the hips quite nicely. Then finishing off with a kettlebell movement. So getting the kettlebell to rack position, I'm going to do an internal rotation. Press. I'm going to do that 6 times. I'm using my 50-pound kettlebell for this move. doing this for now, and then this was my third set, going to do one more, and then on to something else. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's the neighbor's cat. So for set of things, man, this workout, like, I don't know what it is. The steel clubs, in my mind, when I first got them, before I started using them, didn't seem to be too much different from steel maces, but for whatever reason, the shift in how the weight is distributed, and maybe it's just the weight itself, is like, my forearms are burning. In any case, decided to test myself a little bit more with these next set of movements. So starting off with the 45-pound steel club. So going to get this in the usual starting position. Going to do a shield cast. To squat. I'm going to do this 6 times on each side. Then I'm gonna repeat it. Oh man, my forearms. Oh, holy moly, that's difficult, that's really difficult. And then, with the 25-pound club, going to do around the worlds, is what it's called in the steel club world. So, I'm going to start off with 360, and repeat. For 10 each side. Oh man, my arms are burning. Holy crap. And before I move into the next part of this, like, I don't know, I've, like, a lot of people say this in like the steel club kind of world, especially Mark Wildman, who is like, there's no real movement in day-to-day life where you're like curling. And so while it's important to have strong biceps, I think strong biceps in the context of a larger movement makes more sense than directly doing curls. Not saying that curls in itself is a bad movement. But I guess like even if you look at gymnasts and stuff, they have huge biceps, but I don't think they do a lot of curls. They just do pull-ups and all the movements that they do on the rings and stuff. So yeah, like the kind of arm fatigue that I'm feeling now, I've never felt using regular bodybuilding exercises. And I don't know, let's see how my arms develop as I do more of this. But if you guys have been following along, I can't remember the last time I did like a normal dumbbell curl, and I don't think my arms are that small. In any case, let's repeat it on the other side. My arms are not small at all. They're all right. They're all right. And finishing off with steel mace, single arm, 360 to mill with the opposite hand. So before we get into that, I just want to show you something that's a difference between the club and the mace. So with the mace, if I try to do like what I was doing earlier, where I push and let it swing, you see how it hits the floor? I have to shrug my shoulders a little back so that it would clear it, and even so, you're pretty close to your feet. And so one of the things with the mace is you can do that forward drop and swing motion and clear your feet comfortably and not worry about hitting yourself and stuff. So yeah, just thought I'd show that. In any case, this is what I'm doing with the steel mace. 360 drop. But since I've used the mace for a while, I know how to control it and what trajectory to make it follow so that it avoids my feet. But you can do that motion a lot more comfortably with the club. Switching side. So yeah, doing this tricep, and I don't know, that might be it for today's video. Yeah, it's about sunset time. Yeah, that's it for today's video. Gonna do one more set of this. Uh, I don't think my forearms can handle juggling or anything at this point. I mean, it can, but I probably shouldn't risk it. But yeah, tomorrow's the weekend, so I should get more sunlight, so I should be able to play around a little bit more, a lot more comfortably. In any case, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys like the steel club stuff. My first real workout with it. You guys can see how I learn and progress at it. And yeah, pretty much similar to the steel mace where I started at episode 100 to now. There's been a steady progression. With kettlebell juggling, it was around episode 71 where I was just doing some really basic stuff, and now I would say I'm, I guess, intermediate at it. Yeah, it's kind of cool to have this log of all my workouts to see how I've progressed at things over time. And yeah, I don't mind recording myself at the beginning stages of the learning thing, because I don't know, one of the things is learning stuff online is really it's a really cool thing that we get to do now, but very often we see people at the end of the learning stages, like people tend to put out videos after they've learned stuff, and I don't know if it might be of value to somebody to see someone start off with something and then get better at it as time goes on. I get that in this case, the steel club has a lot of similarities to the steel mace, and so I'm kind of ahead as far as the learning goes, but you know, that could be said for a lot of things. But yeah, that's all for today's video. See you all tomorrow.